Yeah, good morning, sir. Thank you for your patience waiting, sir. We'll start the event in 2 minutes, sir. Sir, am I audible, sir?
That's okay. Fine. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Askar, sir, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, sir. We'll start the event in 1 minute, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your waiting, sir. Thank you.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My honor and privilege to stand before intellects who have gathered here today for the 5th International Conference on Recent Advances in Computing and Communication, ICRACC'25, hosted by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell and the School of Computational Sciences, Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Sashan Jain College for Women, in collaboration with Kisii University, Kenya. We will now begin the solemn occasion, invoking God's blessings. I now invite Ms. Soundarya to lead us in prayer. In collaboration with Kisii University, Kenya. We will now begin.
Eso panchanamu karo sava papapanasano mangalanam cha savesim padamam havai mangalam நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்த கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிது தெக்கணமும் மதிசிறந்த திராவிடன திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமும் எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திரும்பியந்த செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே
May I now invite Dr. Gomati, Head, Department of Computer Science, to welcome the gathering.
A very good morning to all. I take it as a great pleasure to welcome you all to the 5th International Conference on Recent Advances in Computing and Communication, conducted by IQSC and School of Computational Sciences of Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Sashan Jain College for Women in collaboration with Kisii University, Kenya. Technology is a fast developing field, and to withstand the changing technology is our aim. Sashan always aims at new trends, and this international conference is one such initiative which will help the scholars and the students to initiate a new arena in the communication and technical field. I extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Ms. Meenakshi, Assistant Vice President, Cognizant Technology Solution, Chennai, who has significantly contributed in the field of information technology. I deem it a privilege to welcome Professor Christopher Nasho, Registrar, Kisii University. I also welcome Mr. Askar Sharif, Enterprise Support Leader, Amazon Web Services USA, and all the faculty members, students to this informative international conference on the topic Recent Advances in Computing and Communication. Once again, I welcome you all. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request Ms. Egamai, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, to take us through this theme of this conference, ICRACC'25.
Good day, one and all present here. Honorable guests, distinguished scholars, industry experts, and esteemed participants. It is a great privilege to address this gathering at the conference on recent advances in computing and communication. We are living in an era where technology is evolving at an unprecedented pace, reshaping industries, economies, and the way we interact with the world. Computing and communication technologies are at the heart of this transformation, driving innovation across all sectors. From the early days of mainframe computers and analog communication to today's era of cloud computing, quantum computing, 5G, and AI-driven networks, we have witnessed remarkable progress. Computing power has exponentially increased and communication systems have become faster, more efficient, and more secure. We have few innovations and emerging trends such as artificial intelligence and machine learning, quantum computing, edge and cloud computing, 5G and beyond, blockchain and cybersecurity. While these advancements offer incredible opportunities, they also bring challenges that require collaboration between academia, industry, and policymakers. Issues such as data privacy, digital divide, cybersecurity threats, and ethical AI deployment must be addressed to ensure responsible innovation. The future of computing and communication lies in interdisciplinary research, sustainable technology, and human-centric innovation. As we stand at the threshold of the 6G revolution, AI-driven computing, and the quantum breakthroughs, our collective efforts will shape a smarter, more connected, and inclusive world. This conference serves as a vital platform to discuss, innovate, and collaborate on the latest advancements that are shaping the future. Let us seize this opportunity to exchange ideas, inspire new innovations, and work towards a technological empowered society. Thank you, and I wish you all the productive and insightful conference.
Thank you, ma'am. I now invite Dr. Bhagyavati, Head, Department of Computer Application Shift 2, to introduce our guest of honor.
Good day to one and all present here. It's my great pleasure to introduce a respected academic and leader, Professor Christopher Nagacho. Professor Nagacho currently serves as the Registrar for Research, Extension, Innovation, and Resource Mobilization at Kisii University, one of Kenya's prominent public institutions. With over 24 years of experience in teaching and research, Professor Nagacho has made significant contributions to the academic world, having taught at prestigious universities such as Jerton University, Kenyatta University, and KCA University. His academic background includes a PhD in Operations Management from Delhi University, and he has served as the Dean of the School of Business and Economics at Kisii University for over a decade. Professor Nagacho's commitment to academic excellence extends beyond the classroom. He has played an essential role in several international projects, including European-funded initiatives and establishment of the Center of Excellence in Finance and Economics at Kisii University. His leadership in the Lake Region Economic Bloc has contributed to the creation of Center of Excellence aimed at regional development. Additionally, his work in helping students navigate their career choices underscore its dedication to the educational and professional growth of the next generation. We feel blessed to have such a versatile person, sir. Thank you for your acceptance.
Uh, Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my privilege to invite Professor Christopher Nagacho, who will be joining us online, Registrar, Research, Extension, Innovation, and Resource Mobilization, REIRM, Kisii University, Kenya, to address the gathering.
A very good morning to all. As you have been told, I'm Professor Ngacho. Professor Ngacho, I'm a registrar at Kisii University, and I'm glad to be part of this team. Distinguished guests, esteemed faculty, industry leaders, and brilliant students, it's an honor to address you at this international conference on recent advances in computing and communication. We gather at the intersection of innovation and transformation as artificial intelligence reshapes our world. My topic of today, ladies and gentlemen, is on the great disruption, and we are talking about the AI and the power of collaborations. So AI is a disruptor, but a good disruptor. So I'm privileged to represent Kisii University and Shasun Women's College, beacons of knowledge and progress. Artificial intelligence, once science fiction, is now a perceived force, impacting every industry, and it is in healthcare, is in finance, is in education, is in manufacturing. It's redefining efficiency, especially the ways people do things has now changed. Decision making, it enhances decision making and even creativity. Examples, we have an AI generating text, composing music, driving vehicles, etc. What is the dual nature? Let's look at the dual nature of disruption. And the dual nature means on one side we have the opportunities, but on the other side we have challenges. AI disruption is twofold: incredible opportunities, significant challenges. Automation demands rethinking education, job roles, and the sense of being human. But we have ethical, economic, and societal considerations that must be addressed, and they all impact on the appropriate use of AI. Where is collaborations? Could it be the key to navigate the AI landscape? No single entity can navigate the AI revolution alone. Breakthroughs come through collective efforts, open source communities, industry academia partnerships, and global research initiatives. And in fact, now there is the role of government, the government, industry, and academia. Where do they connect? This University and Session Women's College partnership bridges continents and enables knowledge exchange. How is the future? How can you embrace the future? Embrace AI as a tool to augment human potential. Universities should incorporate AI literacy into curricula, create ethical stewards of technology. On the other side, the industry should invest in continuous learning, equip professionals to collaborate with the AI, and then foster ethical AI development, transparency, accountability, and inclusivity. And this is the role of governments. Now, we want to shape our future together with the Shasun Women University, and the AI revolution is here and unstoppable. Its trajectory depends on us, how we innovate, educate, and collaborate. This conference is a catalyst for groundbreaking ideas and enduring partnerships. Let us actively shape the future of computing and communication. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
You finished? Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, sir, for your insights on the wide applications of AI and the future of AI. I now invite Ms. Reina, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, to introduce our speaker, Mr. Askar Sharif, Enterprise Support Leader, US Telco, Amazon Web Services Incorporation.
Good morning, everyone. It's an absolute honor to introduce our special invitee for today's conference, Mr. Askar Sharif, a distinguished leader in the field of cloud computing and enterprise support. With an impressive career spanning over 20 years in IT infrastructure, DevOps, and cloud technologies, Mr. Askar Sharif currently serves as Enterprise Support Leader, US Telco at Amazon Web Services. In his role, he leads enterprise support initiatives, enduring seamless cloud solutions and technical excellence for major telecom clients in the United States. Mr. Sharif's journey in the technology landscape is nothing short of inspiring. Before stepping into his current leadership position, he held several key roles at AWS, including Enterprise Support Manager, Enterprise Support Lead, and Senior Technical Account Manager, where he played a pivotal role in driving innovation and efficiency in cloud services. His expertise extends beyond AWS with prior experience as a technical lead in AWS DevOps, IT manager, and network engineer across various global organizations. A graduate of Anna University, Chennai, with a degree in information technology, Mr. Sharif has showcased his research acumen by presenting papers on cutting-edge technologies such as genetic algorithms, cryptography, digital image processing, and cloud security. We are truly privileged to have him with us today as a special invitee for this conference. Although he couldn't be here in person, he is joining us live from the United States to share a few words during this conference inauguration. Esteemed audience, let's extend a warm welcome to Mr. Askar Sharif.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for inviting me, and I'm so glad to be here. Am I good to start? Okay. Okay, I'll go ahead and share my screen. Let me know once you can see it. All right. Yeah. So there was, just like you introduced me, I'm Askar Sharif. I am in the IT industry for about 20 years now, with Amazon services, with Amazon Web Services for last 8 years in various roles, and recently as an enterprise support leader for telecom for the whole US and Canada region. I also lead various GenAI initiatives for the AWS enterprise support groups, like artificial intelligence is the flavor today. So today I would like to talk to you about GenAI and its potential. As you all graduate and move into like different jobs or become entrepreneurs, start your own businesses, GenAI provides you like with a lot of potential for you to explore, learn, and grow. So today I'm here to talk about that in 15 minutes. Okay, what we'll cover, we'll explore what GenAI is, how it works. We'll look into some real-world applications, and even do a quick live demo in ChatGPT. So you are all aware of ChatGPT, right? So let's get started. Okay, GenAI is a game changer, like everyone knows at this point. Unlike traditional AI, it analyzes existing content. GenAI generates new original content, but from the learned patterns, right? Which is basically creating text, images, code, and many more. Think of ChatGPT, right? When you are creating a text, maybe you are creating that YouTube content for your video or a YouTube short. Now you can use ChatGPT for that, right? Maybe you are looking to create that nice thumbnail for your YouTube video. Now you can use GenAI DALL-E to create the thumbnail for your video, right? And think about like Microsoft. Microsoft has a Copilot, and then you want to like create a code for C, C++, Java, Python, or you name it. or it could be your next business idea. And you can pretty much do it all using GenAI. Okay, I don't want to bore you with a lot of stuff with history, but AI has come a long way, right? From basically simple systems in 1950s to 80s to machine learning in the 1990s, and even it was there, it's still there, right? The machine learning era. And now to generative AI, it has become popular in the last 4 or 5 years, right? You can see that milestones, basically the chat GPT was the popular one, right? That kind of started by OpenAI in the 2020s. And you can see that evolution. Every company is now doing something with GenAI, like Microsoft has their pilot, Meta or Facebook, they created Llama, Google created Bard, and Amazon has Titan, Q, and recently DeepSeek AI was in news making waves about their efficient processing. But that's where you can see the evolution of GenAI. Okay, GenAI learns from vast amount of assets, right? That's how it's getting. It basically recognizes patterns. I would like to give an example here. Like most of you may have watched the Rajinikanth's movie Robot Part 1, right? When you say Chitty to put the TV, then it will put the TV on the ground, right? And break it. You need to say switch on the TV, but now with GenAI, you can also train it using common. It's common for, to say put the TV for switching on or turning on the TV. So Chitty won't actually break it. It will confirm with you first and turn on the TV based on recognizing patterns, right? That's how it starts training. And of course, there are neural networks. That's more important for the training. Same like how you are stimulating in human brain. You are training the AI to the model. You are training the model for it to recognize those patterns, right? And then there is something called transformers and RLHF, which is reinforcement learning from human feedback, which is something that ChatGPT pretty much uses for the context-aware responses. Okay. Again, I won't go deep into the models here, but I just want you to understand there are different models that serve different purposes, right? For example, you want to summarize a text or you are playing mostly with the text, then certain models like GPT, Q, Claude, BERT, Llama, all of these are really helpful. If you're looking at image generation, you have and some stable diffusion, so many other models that are available. And if you are looking into code generation and so on, right? So many options, so many AI models working behind the scenes. Okay, let's touch base on real world applications. Okay, you are talking about GenAI. What can I do with the GenAI, right? So first of all, as simple as creating content. I want to create a blog, social media post. I want to start a YouTube channel, or I'm working on something. I want to present it in YouTube. I can simply go to one of the AIs, GenAI, ChatGPT, or anything, and I can ask for it to create a content for my YouTube video. So that's a good starting. Similarly, create a visual thumbnail for that particular YouTube video, or maybe for this conference, you may have created the visuals, right? Again, you can use ChatGPT or a GenAI tool to create that image. You just have to provide some prompts, and it helps you create. Code development, right? Starting with Python, Java, C, C++, whatever you name it, or testing some code, but you want to debug it, or you want really for it to start providing the code, you can do it using GenAI. Writing a good email, that's you can do it. Learning aid, like summarizing books. Now I have 100 pages of books or 1,000 pages of content. Really get a summary of this in 2 pages or maybe a 10-slide deck. So first I know what this is all about. Give me like 3 real-time use cases this particular chapter, and it's going to summarize that content for you. And now you can use that GenAI content, like to assist with your learning as well, right? That's an actual use case. To improve productivity, automating tasks, we do a lot of stuff internally, right? Like writing promotion documents. It's a lot of work. So we do that. We do the talent card. We do a lot of other things, customer related work. To increase our productivity, instead of like doing a lot of stuff manual, we automate this task and GenAI to help us. And the bigger use case here, I think everybody should look at is entrepreneurship, right? Something like, okay, I had this business idea, but how to get started? Now you can simply go of this AI tools, make the GenAI as your partner, and ask us, here is my idea, like what should I do with it? Help me with the strategy, what to do. It'll help you. So there are less potential here. I'm just giving you a few use cases for you all to think about, but the potential is endless. Okay, let's, spoke about all the real world. Can we do a live demo using one of the GenAI tools? So I came up with a quick live demo for you all, but I'm going to maybe, I think, 1 second. Okay, do you see my screen with GPT? I assume that's a yes. So I already had a prompt that I basically ChatGPT for creating an image for this particular ICRACC'25 conference. And it generated this image, right? And then, but it did not exactly do what I wanted it to do, with some lot of typos and spelling mistakes, right? So I was like, let's refine it further. I like it, but make sure the spelling is correct. That's all. Then it started giving me this, right? But I can always say, make the background in red color. This making things up here. Let's see what it does. So we'll wait for a few seconds here, and it's going to create an image. And hopefully it changes the background to red. That's what we are prompt to do at this point. Okay, there we go. So we have a nice image generated for the conference in red color. But again, this can be improved, but it just depends on the prompts that you will provide to the ChatGPT or a GenAI. If I'm happy with that, I can obviously download and keep it. And you can see companies like Lexica here does a similar thing, right? They may use behind the scenes like DALL-E or someone. And now they have created this tool where you can actually generate images. You basically provide some prompts and say, hey, create some natural thumbnails or pictures of this size. It can generate you those images, or you can search for images using the tool. But my point here is that the behind the scenes, the AI works, but you can create a nice UI, and this is how the product is developed. Okay, now let's get into the second example. I asked ChatGPT to create a simple Python and a Java code that calculates a sum of numbers from 100. Very simple. It provided me the code both in Python and Java. I can also ask create code in Python to create a game. So if you wait for a few seconds, it's going to definitely create a code. It's going to give a most workable code. It may not be perfect. You may have to iterate it a bit, right? That's where you will start testing this with Python, or if you want code, you can obviously use it. The point here is, we are moving towards efficiency, right? And that's where all of this comes in, right? And the opportunity is endless if you use it in the right way. And then I also have the last example, which is if you are looking for like, okay, give me 5 innovative business ideas, right? I'm looking to start a business, 5 innovative ideas in area for telecom, let's just ask telecom, right? Here you go. So it basically provides like, here are your 5 business ideas for telecom sector. I can further probe more. Like I hear, talking about 5G as one of the latest trends in computing and communications, right? And there you go. So now I can ask more about the 5G Powercom city solutions. I can say, okay, expand on this idea. So again, the AI is going to give me more details on this idea, right? It's a good one to start. But if I'm happy with this, right, and if my interest resonates with what I'm seeing here, and I have some work that I'm doing here, I think that's an idea that we can take and run with it. So the opportunity is immense here, team. Like that's exactly what I was doing earlier as well. I said like, hey, I want to create a YouTube short channel. Like, give me some ideas, and it gave me like these 5 ideas. And I said, let's go with the local vibes, like showcase Tamil Nadu's culture, food, the travel spots, and entrepreneurship stories, right? And it started providing me like, here are some of the ideas that you can focus on. Now I can basically ask further, like maybe quick 15 seconds recipes or maybe something else, and it will start giving me more details on that, and I can start making a YouTube video, and I can look for that next business that I'm looking for, or it could be something else. But I want to at least share that the opportunity is immense, and you can do a lot of things with GenAI. Of course, we need to be cautious. While GenAI is powerful, it's not perfect. It can reflect on biases in data it's trained on. Whatever it's trained on, that's what it's going to generate, right? We don't want to put a red chip in Rajnikant and wake up Chitty, right? And post sick privacy risk. So we want to make sure we are using it ethical, and we are, again, ethical in how we are using it. And AI is there to help make us efficient, but it will be the humans finally will be making those decisions and control it, not the other way around. And just want to make sure it's a tool, not replacement. I want you to use this responsibility and consider AI as your partner and use it to your advantage for brainstorming, problem solving, develop your skills for an AI world, right? What are the skills that is most important as you graduate, as you go forward, right? What are those potential opportunity exist? So make sure you are working on those and explore all the creative and technical paths you have. That's all I had, and thank you for inviting me. Feel free to connect with me on email or LinkedIn for any questions or further discussions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your presentation. Your presentation on GenAI, evolution, its working, real-time applications, ethical considerations is comprehensive, exhaustive, and highly informative. Thank you very much, sir. Live demo was certainly icing on the cake. Thank you very much, sir, once again. I now request our chief guests and dignitaries to release the conference proceedings. Thank you, ma'am. May I now invite Dr. Gomati, Head Department of Computer Science, to introduce the chief guest.
It's my honor and privilege to introduce Chief Guest of the Day, Ms. Meenakshi. She is a strategic business delivery leader in Cognizant. She has a strong insurance domain knowledge of 27 years plus, having worked with leading insurers in the US. She plays wider roles of domain practice leader, D&I champion, and Chennai Posh Committee leader. In her career, she has played a multitude of roles such as business analyst, program manager, and account head, and has led re-engineering maintenance, production support, and testing teams. She believes in collaboration and building meaningful stakeholder partnership. She has actively been involved in key leaderships, process, and people initiatives over her long career, making significant impacts of their outcomes. She runs mentoring and D&I programs both professionally and personally, and believes strongly in collaborating with the young college graduates to guide, mentor, and coach them for wholesome job opportunities. She's an active blogger and LinkedIn enthusiast. We welcome you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It's time to express our gratitude. May I now invite Dr. Gomati, ma'am, to kindly felicitate our chief guest with a memento and sapling. Thank you, ma'am. I am privileged to invite our chief guest, Ms. Meenakshi, ma'am, to share a few words with us.
Good morning to all of you. Okay. So you make me sound like a lecturer now, actually, right? You should have, at the beginning of the day, you should have more energy, right? We'll repeat once more. Good morning, everyone. Super. Okay. So let's start. I want your undivided attention, right, for the next few minutes. I had lovely speakers before me, and they set the context. I think Askar Sharif sir also just walked through what is AI, generative AI today, right? I mean, there's lots of terminologies in the slide. If you just look through each of it, you will understand more. Now, I have questions for you more than sharing information. See, any information shared, you can look up Google today, okay? Any of you who have smartphones and with internet, which I think is all of us in the room, can look up all of the things in generative AI. Yeah, but I want to ask you some specific questions. So how many of you after graduation, right, want to go for a job? Can I have a show of hands? Okay. How many of you want to start your businesses? Business? Okay. There is a statistics that says 1 in 5 people, okay, are going to start businesses. So I know there are multiples of 5 in this room, and I'm sure that many of you are also going to think about business. Maybe if not year 1, you will think about it down the line, right? See, every innovation actually hits us very strongly. About 10 years back, I don't think any of us would have thought we will own a smartphone that is like a mini computer on our hands. Today, we have everything on our smartphone, right? So similarly, I think generative AI is something that all of you, I mean, like, have to deeply understand. There are 2 ways of learning. One is just learning the terminology, and second is learning with depth, right? I think it's very important to do the second one. I know generative AI, if you Google up, even if you, how many of you, first of all, have downloaded ChatGPT? Can I just, okay. And I'm sure ChatGPT, are you using for your, submissions for papers and things like that? I'm sure you are, right? Okay. So, but you should also understand, right? As smart as you are as students, Teachers also are getting smarter, and even people, if you are interviewing for an interview, the person who's taking the interview is also smarter. As a person who writes on LinkedIn, I can differentiate between what is AI generated content and what is not AI generated content. So what is important then, right? Knowing, I mean, using chat GPT just to understand things is good, but I think at the end of the day, how you apply that is very important. Okay. So I think I want to talk about today, like, in the last 2 to 3 years, we've talked about, I mean, if you go up Google and check out generative AI, even within our companies, in many of the companies, we are doing pilot projects, proof of concepts, and that's the evolution of generative AI. But what you can expect to happen in the next few years is, see, COVID vaccines, right? I'm sure that many of you you or your families were deeply affected by COVID or mildly affected. And you can clearly see that is today life sciences. Do you know that there is a field called life sciences, which is all about finding medicines, testing medicines, creating new medicines for diseases that we never used to cure. So generative AI is going to touch those medical aspects like anything, right? How many of you wrote your NEET exam thinking that you want to do medicine? There should be some people. Okay, I see a few hands. So I think it's very important. So this is your opportunity. You see, computer science is not the final stage of your career, right? Your education also. Computer science is a tool. Anybody here repairs anything in your house at all? Anybody has a toolbox who repairs anything? Don't say it's for the boys or guys. I don't believe in that. But anybody repairs your tube lights, anybody fixes your, okay, please do. I mean, for my sake, even if you spoil one bulb, even if you spoil one pipe, it doesn't matter. I think everything is the key is the execution. I think all of us need to start knowing how to execute on things. Okay, so next time, pick up, if you look at why I asked you about fixing things is, if you pick up a toolbox, you'll have variety of tools in that, right? You'll have like a hammer, a spanner, a screw, whatever is use-worthy for one will not be, you cannot reuse for another. Okay, so technology and tool stacks has become like that, and it's very easy to learn that, right? But the harder part to learn is analytical skills and strong math skills. How many of you don't like math in the room? Don't like maths? Okay. Okay, I should put like half my hand up. Okay. So, but I think, unfortunately, friends, maths is also going to be key. Okay, whether you like it or not, learn it in small bits. For generative AI and for many other things, data sciences is going to be the key. Okay, many of my colleagues at work are doing separate courses, 1-year courses, 2-year courses, whatever it is on data sciences. So generative AI is a wrapper, right? So if you open the wrapper of a chocolate, right, all you see is the chocolate bar. But to make the chocolate bar, you will have some cocoa, milk powder, whatever contents. There'll be 10 different things, 15 different things. That's what it is. Generative AI is just one chunk of the equation that we're looking at. But to make the generative AI work, you need maths, you need analytical skills, you need critical thinking skills, you need optimization. See, as all of us, what we don't understand is, I mean, have you noticed this phenomenon? You open your smartphone and you open 10 different applications. Does it slow down your phone, or does it work normally? It slows down your phone and then you kind of come and shut down all the apps. So generative AI is also going to a point where I think there is a concept of edge AI. I would want all of you to look up what an edge AI computing is. Okay. Edge AI computing is nothing but on a small chip offering the maximum capability of AI. Now, on a chip, you cannot do that unless you optimize all the algorithms that is behind generative AI, right? So generative AI is like scratching the surface, like your GPay scratching the surface, but that is just one day, one token. Okay. There are many more tokens that we have to scratch each day in order to learn this better. So don't worry whether you know all the aspects of generative AI or not. The important aspect is, are you improving on your critical thinking? Are you improving on analytics? See, whether you like it or not, whether it is only for a job, start doing your aptitudes and math tests and all those analytical tests, because those are the basis of generative AI. See, generative AI, we talk about LLM, SLM, and I saw a lot of good topics that is lined up for this day. Okay. I want all of you, please don't stop with theory. And you have the concept of 30 days, 45 days, right? Whatever we learn every day on a 30-day, 45 days, it will become a habit. I want each of you in this room, okay, to learn about generative AI, I do have trends also marked here, right? So many are, I mean, I don't want to confuse you with jargons, but the important part, this is from Gartner. And there you will see a lot of green boxes. One is about digital AI twins. This is about, like, see, when you go to industry like mining, earlier people used to go down and then do the mining. But now for all the dangerous work, we don't have the actual people do it. We have robotic digital twins. Many of you must have heard, right? Back in US, there are cars that can be that are driverless cars. Now, how can it be driverless cars? Only if it is generative AI is used. See, generative AI is nothing but not like a singular form of thinking, but applying multiple analytics and logic, and to mimic a human being's thinking capability, to mimic a human decision making capability. That is what AI is used for. So a lot of blips here that you see is only indicating to you that generative AI is here to stay, right? And I think it's very important. See, one thing that you all have to realize, right? Once you join a job, nobody is going to ask you, did you study in like IIT? Did you study in Shasan? Did you study in any other ABC college? They will only look at what you can bring to the table in terms of your confidence in learning and executing on activities. So I think it's very important. Actually, technology is a level setter, right? Technology doesn't differentiate between which college you learn. Technology doesn't differentiate by whether we are man or women. Technology is a complete equalizer to all the equation. If you have the technology, you will be called to do any big position in any job, or you will get that smartness to even like do any business, right? So I think it's very important for us to understand. If you move on to the next slide, also I'll show you. See, these are the, so I'm leaving agentic AI. If you've not heard about AI agents, it's like you've not heard about the recent Vidamuyachi movie, right? It is agent AI is going to be the 2025 theme for AI. Okay, everything. So agent AI is nothing but small pockets of automation of AI, and there'll be multiple agent AIs that will be developed. There will be confusions about how each agent AI will talk to each other in the ecosystem. And then, of course, many of you would have read about cloud themes in your syllabus curriculum itself. But the important thing is always see, IT is nothing but what goes up should come down. That's all. Cloud was a big hype 2 years back. Today, cloud is not so much a hype because once people moved to cloud, tools and technologies, I mean, systems moved to cloud, people realize that it is very expensive paying the licenses, very expensive doing the data center storage. Now we are going into a hybrid cloud model where you will have, like on premises is what we call the other equation of cloud. You will have regional on-prem model as well as you will have a cloud model. So it is going to be a mixture of both, only because of the cost factors, also because of the privacy factors. See, and one thing you should realize is US is very, very loose about privacy. See, the reason I talk about US is 70% of many IT businesses come from US. So US is very loose about privacy, but Europe is very finicky about privacy. Okay, in Europe, you cannot get away with things if you expose any of the client information. Okay, so that is where the hybrid cloud model is going to be very important. And similarly, I talked about edge computing, right? Giving the maximum computation on a small chip. So, and GPU optimization. So how many of you know NVIDIA? Yes, no? Please look up, okay? I think, see, regardless of whether we are going to work, regardless of whether we are going to start a business, how many of you would like to have a good conversation for half an hour with a person, with a knowledgeable person? Let's say you're meeting another friend or another senior who's working in computer science field. Wouldn't you feel good if you can have a 30-minute sensible conversation on the latest in computers? I think as a college student also, I would love to have that conversation. Of course, you can talk about movies. Of course, you can talk about everyday things. But talking about the field that we are graduating, how many times we've complained when we are students also saying that the theory we learn is not so related to the practical aspect of the real world. Now, how to make the theory and practice work together is we need to keep talking about, see, sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. Okay, we will not understand all the terminologies even in this slide, what I'm showing you. But keep repeating, keep learning, keep using your chat GPT to understand about these topics. Once you understand about these topics, I think we'll become very confident when we start going into rooms where people are there and where people are experts in this field. Okay, so I think very important for all of us to first understand that 90% is execution and 10% is theory. the ratio will differ for all these concepts, but I would say only when we execute. See, how many of you, if you were told what ChatGPT is, you'll think this is another chapter in your computer science book. But how many of you, when you used your ChatGPT, you can explain to another friend what ChatGPT is? I'm sure the people who've used ChatGPT can relate to this, where you can quickly explain to somebody else what you have learned. I think that's why I insist on execution being the key for understanding any concepts. So most of the other things, I think I'll leave it here, but one of the things that you need to understand, what is slowing down, definitely I want to call out, right? I think, see, the more we go for generative AI, the caution there's a lot of vulnerabilities. Have you heard about CrowdStrike? I think the blue screen phenomenon, did any of your friends, family fly during that time at all? Or you heard somebody who had a problem? There was an incident that happened where all the computers in the airport got shut down. Many flights didn't take off. It was a very big problem. Okay, and that CrowdStrike is what generative AI, if not done rightly, can do. Right, so it was like an intervention, and it cost a lot of $1 million of losses. As much as it is like the Chitty movie, that, or the Robo movie only. As much as there's good in AI, there's also some negativity in it. That is why AI regulations will become important, the transparency, accountability. So please read up these factors. What is AI ethics? Just like for human beings, right? We are not supposed to say do something wrong. Even AI, which is like a non-living thing, is not supposed to do things wrong. And that is why we have ethics, compliance, transparency. All those things are very important for AI generative models. So if we move forward, I just wanted to, I think I had like, yeah. So these are some of the things I did touch upon agent AI. If you look at the third one, about how multi-agents will orchestrate, about dynamic decision-making workflows, right? See, for example, I'll give you a small example of how agent AI will work. Imagine that you need to come from your home to a college, and the distance takes, and the college, you have to be here at say 8:30, right? And you have 3 routes. Today, Google Map is doing that judgment for you. But if you have to judge for yourself, right? Then that is where the agentic AI will make dynamic decision flows. Let's say some roads are blocked because of metro. Some roads are clear. The road which is clear will take 1 kilometer more time than the others. But if you have if you use AI properly, it can dynamically determine, and you can program it to tell you which is the shortest way to reach from your home to college. So I think the application of generative AI is up to you. Okay. So I would really sincerely request, see, like I said, right, none of us, we are in an era where there is abundance. When there is plenty, we kind of ignore the importance of plenty, right? I think it's very important. Start small. Okay. If there's one thing that you have to learn from this conference, whether 99 things goes out of your mind, that 1% of things, take notes and put it on your calendar. Every day, learn about, I mean, half an hour. See, how many of us spend at least half an hour on reels, at least half an hour on OTT? Why not spend the 30 minutes? It's like compound interest. If you were commerce students, I would have told you, right? Compounding is a very powerful concept for your money. If you start something today and then you compound, you can be like, whatever, lakpatis and crowpatis when you kind of see 20 years from now. The same thing applies for knowledge as well as for learning, right? So start the compounding effect of learning. Start investing about 5-10 minutes of your time. I mean, half an hour, 30 minutes at least is a reasonable time. Read about generative AI. These are some of the concepts, right? Whether it is about AI-driven storage, whether it's about AI-driven development. So Sharif sir talked about how you can generate. He showed you Python code for generating 1 to 10 and all that. But as much as the code is generated, you need to evaluate whether it is without a security breach or not. See, in between the code, the code itself can program in order to do things that you didn't want it to do. So we need to be able to review and find out whether the code is vulnerable or it is a strong code, as we call it. Okay. So that there are many things about AI. See, today, as much as how many of you have got automated messages saying somebody comes in Tamil, right? Somebody may call you and ask you, don't give away your details. So how much of warning it took in order to kind of overcome that problem, right? Where people are calling and saying, we took your goods and you need to pay up for somebody in jail, so your package receiving and all that. I think it's very important. So there's threat everywhere. And as much as technology is advancing, so will be the threat that will come along with it. So even using generative AI, you can detect threats that come along the way, which is a genuine request versus which is a threat. Okay, so I did touch upon a few of these things. I'll leave the rest of it to you. But I sincerely wish, if there's only one message you want to take away from me as a speaker, is 30 minutes of generative AI learning is a must, whichever concept you pick. Whether it is LLM, whether it is SLM, whether it's NVIDIA, it could be any number of things, okay? Learn 30 minutes for yourself, you're doing it for yourself. I want each of you, see, there is a feeling, right? Up to school and college, the girls only perform the best. But after a point in time, when you enter the workforce, when you enter the wider world, we need to go and struggle and ask for representation, and which I think is like a difficult thing to accomplish. So I really wish each and every one of you guys should, like, really be the toppers in technology also. We are missing a lot of women in technology. I wish each of you become like that women leader, women tech architects. Today, even in many organizations, I see women technology architects are very less. So I wish each of you just do 30 minutes of learning every day. Improve your confidence. It's not for anybody that you're doing, it's for improving your confidence. Once your confidence improves, I'm sure that you will also be able to accomplish a lot of things in life. So thank you so much to all of the faculty members and for this time, and all the very best, and I wish the best for the conference as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for those words of wisdom. Be it tools, say AI, or at-home toolbox, your insistence on stepping up to learn things is highly encouraging and motivating. 30-minute Gen AI every day. Thank you so much for those carry home point. Thank you once again, ma'am. We will now begin the technical sessions shortly. After a 15-minute tea break, we will assemble back at 10:15 a.m. in the respective tracks. Here are the tracks and venue. Track 1, which is an online mode, will happen in seminar hall, the same room. Track 2 will happen in academic block 1, 1303. Tracks 3 and 4 will happen in conference hall 1103, academic block 1. I request the participants to be at the respective venues after a 15-minute break. Tea and lunch tokens are available in the kit that you just received. I request the participants to kindly join us for a group photo.